my ex-girlfriend broke up, it was tough, but like I said, it gave me this drive. You know, I got back into school. I'm in my last semester of school. I moved into a nice place now, with some crazy people a little bit, but that's okay. You know, I don't know if you can see, but and it's weird because when this happens, when you have this drive and you have this like upkeep of your room or whatever, because my room's like always clean now, it's weird because it's almost like you have OCD. Like once it just clicked for me, you know what I mean? And I'll explain why it clicked, but it just did. And now it's like when something's out of place, I'm like, boop, picking it up, putting it, making sure it's in place, and it's pretty funny how that works. I catch myself being like, what the hell? It's just like a pen that's like crooked, and it just like bothers me that it's crooked now. But in like 6 months ago, I would be like, whatever, So it's pretty funny, but it's pretty cool to see, it's a pretty good feeling. So that's that. Very few things that you can do to try to keep a relationship going, make it healthy. Communication is like one of the main keys to a relationship, is talking, letting you know how both of you guys feel, letting you know what's going on. And that was a big thing that me and my ex-girlfriend missed, was miscommunication. We weren't talking like we should have, and it really did put a damper on our relationship. So you definitely want to communicate to your significant other. So I'm gonna end there with as far as keeping a relationship. I'm gonna talk just a very few points on what happens if it does go awry and you guys do end up breaking up. So with that said, I swear I keep hearing people like trying to listen in on my conversation, but not that I'm really conversing with anyone. So anyways, okay, this part is like shitty. There's nothing good about this part. So, I'm just gonna try to go through this as fast as I can, but as clearly as I can. When you break up with someone, or when someone breaks up with you, I call this the DV squared. So what happens is you get depressed, you're vulnerable, and then the vultures come out. Depressed, vulnerable, vultures. And this is like a triple threat. You're depressed because, obviously, that doesn't need explanation. And you're vulnerable, when something like that happens, most times you're vulnerable anyways. And the vultures being people that just want to score, or, those people that, oh, it's okay, I'm here for you, you can talk to me, but really they're saying, so you're single, let's hook up. That's what they're saying, pretty much. And it's funny, like, when you become single, they just come out of nowhere. It's like, oh, I haven't talked to you in 6 years, and now you, like, show up out of nowhere. Cool. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even go there if you plan on getting with your ex. If you, even the slightest remotely, plan on getting with your ex, the best thing you can do is look for your future. Look out for your ex-girlfriend. And it's pretty sad. Well, I wouldn't say sad, but it's, for me, I still base a lot of decisions, daily decisions, as if I'm with my ex. And a lot of people do, and I think that's what's the majority of keeping me out of trouble and keeping my head on straight. And it's almost like I'm not I'm not disgusted because it's not really anyone else's fault. But it's like, why are you trying? It's like, I want nothing to do with anyone but my ex. So if you plan on getting with your ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, then, I mean, keep that in mind, you know, because when you hook up with someone and you plan on getting with it just won't work. It won't. You know, it does something to you that it just puts this gap between you guys that it just, for some reason, it just won't work. It's weird how it works, but that's how it goes, you know. So unfortunately, yeah, it just won't work. And for me, you know, do I miss my ex? Is building yourself up. Learn from, you know, your relationship. Learn from what happened to you, what's going on with you, and stack yourself. Put yourself in a position where, you know what, this is gonna work out for me. Start working. Go back to school. Do whatever, you know. Do something good for yourself, but more so for your future. And when I say future, I mean possibly your ex if you guys end up getting back together, but whoever you do end up with, because you're gonna be that much better when you do end up with someone. When you do end up with your ex, when you do end up with your next husband or your next wife, you're gonna be that much better and that much of a better person for it. And it's hard right now. And the worst thing that someone can tell you is, like, say you guys break up, and I hate when people say this, is it will be okay, or it's alright, everything will be fine. 99% of the time, down the line, it is fine. But in that exact moment, that person doesn't know how you're feeling. And usually everything's not fine in that moment. So for them to say that, it's kind of like you want to punch them in the face or something. It's like, dude, get away from me. You know, and that's what I did to this 88-year-old grandma that said everything was alright. But see what I did there? Anyways, yeah, you know, it's at that time you could want to kill yourself. Stay away from people or do whatever, you know, and just, you know, cry yourself to sleep every day for 3 weeks, you know. And if that's how you handle it, that's normal, you know, because whenever you suffer a great loss, such as like someone dying, or a big breakup, or someone you've been with for X amount of years or whatever, you know, a great loss. I'm just gonna leave it at that. A great loss. Whenever you have a great loss, you go through 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And you can go back and forth between these 5, and you can be stuck at one for, you know, 2 weeks, and then have one for 1 day, and then, you know, blah blah blah. But we all go through them, and eventually you get to the acceptance stage, and you take it for what it is, usually, for the most part. If not, that's where you get into psychological issues, mental issues, and you probably need to seek more help than I can give, unfortunately. So that's that. Yeah. Alright, I think we're done here. So, I mean, that's what I have for now. I mean, I can go on for... I could probably write a book on this stuff. And it's interesting. It's very interesting. I like talking about it. So thank you for sending me that email. I hope I answered some of your questions. You know, maybe it did something for you. Maybe you were going through the same thing, or have been going through the same thing, or whatever, and it just, you know, did something positive for you. I hope. If not, then click on the next video or something. So yeah, that's that. I think, let's see. Yeah, I always think of my ex. I was just thinking about her the other day when when she came to visit one time, and she was in the passenger seat, and I was driving my truck, and we wouldn't even have to say anything. I'll just put my hand out, and she would give me her cyborg hand, and I'm gonna stop there because my face is about to rain, and that's not gonna happen. So that's that. You know, we're all human. So anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video or gained something from it, and I'll be in touch. I'll be writing, making more videos. Yes, son.